He left the country after investigators targeted him in a child sexual assault case. He stayed away for years. Today, he learned his punishment in an Austin courtroom. An unlicensed dentist charged with sex crimes against young patients escaped prosecution for 17 years.
Today, he finally received his punishment, 7 years in prison. Chris Sadeghi spoke with his attorney about how they reached the deal for this relatively light sentence.
1998 was a long time ago, a long time to find the right words.
I've often wondered what I'd say when this day came.
Thursday, a victim services counselor read a letter to Alexander Ross from one of his victims. She was a kid in 1998, taught certain people were good guys.
They are police, doctors, dentists. I was supposed to be able to trust you.
But Ross, a former dentist, pled guilty to sexually assaulting that patient. It took the FBI finding him in Panama for him to finally face justice 17 years later for multiple crimes against child patients, although the justice was not as severe as possible.
Alexander Ross faced up to 99 years had this case gone to trial, but he'll serve only 7. And his defense attorney explained that that plea deal was reached based on several factors.
Some of these people have already moved on with their lives, and I think the state felt that this was closure for them.
The case and everyone else is much older. Victims have moved on. Ross himself is in a wheelchair, and his attorney says recently suffered heart attacks.
The fact that his health is so poor that I think he felt and the state felt this was a good compromise agreement.
No matter how long or short, Ross is now the one with time to wait.
While you get to sit in a cell, and I hope you think of all of your victims, counted and unaccounted for.
Chris Sadeghi, KXAN News.
Ross was also charged with practicing dentistry without a license, and that charge was dropped in the plea deal. 2 counts of indecency with a child, however, were considered in the sentence. Here's a look at the manpower that went into bringing Ross to justice. 1 month after the crime reports in April of 1998, the Travis County District Attorney asked the FBI to help find Ross. That summer, they added a federal charge of unlawful flight to avoid prosecution. But it took FBI agents until 2013 to figure out Ross was living in Panama. They worked with Panamanian officials for 2 years and finally extradited Ross in January of 2015. That federal charge was since dropped. Neither Ross's victims nor his other patients knew he did not have a license to practice dentistry. Now the state has an easy way for people to check out their own dentists. The Texas State Board of Dental Examiners has a website where you can search for this information. We have a link with this story at KXAN.com. Just plug in a name and you can find details about the dentist's license and any disciplinary action taken by the state.